Mensu was in her office packing her belongings. She looked around and thought about the good memories she had made at the art studio. Sadly, she walked out carrying a box with her belongings. On her way out, she bumped into Wubin. He looked at her but didn't want to show that his heart was breaking. He had no choice. He had betrayed his best friend, and he had to pay the price, even if it meant never seeing Mensu again. Looking at him, Mensu informed him that she was on her way to his office to let him know she was leaving. Wubin nodded and wished her all the best. He told her that he would pay her remaining salary that week. Mensu looked at him, hoping he would say something else. Noticing the silence, she thanked him and walked out. Tears were close to falling from Wubin's eyes as he watched her leave. Angrily, he kicked a sculpture that was on the floor and walked out. Mensu sat in her dorm and tried to call Sunjin to tell him that she had resigned, but he was not answering. She tried a couple of times, but her calls were still being ignored. She thought that maybe he was busy as always. She couldn't wait for him to solve the issue with Tech Bloom so they could finally be together. Looking at her ring, she thought about how much she missed Sunjin. She needed to see him, especially after their last meeting had ended on a bad note. Sunjin sat in the boardroom with his employees, unhappy. He told them that all the organizations they had been in talks with had pulled out and that, despite his attempts to reach out, things didn't seem promising. He added that he had no idea why this had happened, but they were not going to give up. He urged them to do everything in their power to ensure Tech Bloom rose again. As he continued, his father walked in. Noticing the look on his father's face, Sunjin knew what was coming. His father dismissed the board meeting, instructing everyone to leave. He then stood there, looking at Sunjin, and told him that he had been given a chance to prove himself, but had lost. There was no other choice but to go ahead with Cosmo Group, Kim's family company. Sunjin rose to his feet, unwilling to hear those words. He looked at his father and asked for another chance, but his father told him there were no chances left. He added that this matter concerned their family's future, and that they needed to act now. He had already contacted Kim's family to start the wedding preparations. After saying this, Sunjin's father walked out. Sunjin stood there, his heart breaking. He felt as if a part of him had died. He couldn't believe he was losing the love of his life so easily.